Hello and welcome to Microsoft Hates Greg. My name is Greg Deckler, and today we're going to be talking about TruViz and the new custom visual that they put out there in the App Store, their filter visual. Now I've been a fan of TruViz for a while. I want to make it perfectly clear. I have no affiliation with TruViz in terms of I don't get compensated by them in any way, shape, or form. I have gotten access to some early preview releases and been able to provide feedback to them on like things like Power Ops and other tools that they're working on. Been meaning to make a video on their KPI visual for a while because it is super cool. So anyway, these are all just my opinions about the work they're doing. It's just absolutely phenomenal, and it's unbiased and it's my opinion. So Brian Julius, I decided to do the one on the KPI because Brian Julius just recently posted about the new filter by PowerViz that they have out there that TruViz released, and he's got a whole list of everything that he's found in terms of features. I'm not going to go through all of them in this video. There's too much to cover. I'm just going to show you some of my select ones that I think are really, really cool and that solve some long-standing problems. And again, if you're not following Brian Julius, you're crazy. If you're in this business. All right, so let's bring this. This is just a Power BI file that I had. That basically I was solving a community forum post. It involved a complex selector, blah blah blah. Doesn't matter. I'm just using it as an example here. Now, what you're going to do is to get these right. You can go out to here and get visuals. You can type in, easiest way to do it, I think, is type in TruViz, right? TruViz. You can see they've got a bunch of different visuals out here. And here's the one that you want, or the one that we're going to be covering, which is the filter by PowerViz. So you click on this, right? You can click add to add it to your desktop. I've already got it added over here. I really need to download this sample. There, I'm going to download it and look at that later. I haven't done that yet. But yeah, we'll let that go. I'll take a look at that later. I haven't even done that. So anyway, so that's how you get it added in. And then when you add it, so even by default, right, this is it right here. I've just added in this minute filter. So basically what they wanted to do in this case was they had some minutes, but they wanted to present out a nice, easier thing for their interface for their end users, where you could say less than 8 hours, and it would show everything that was less than 8 hours in terms of the minutes in that. So that was the original purpose of this Power BI file that I created. Now, just immediately, one of the cool things about this, like Microsoft's always just hidden the search bar, like, right, in order to turn it on and off, you got to go to these little ellipses here and click on search to turn it on, click on search to turn. Real pain. It's like the maybe I think it's Ben Ferry or somebody was like called it the click tax, right? Everything Microsoft does just has unnecessary click tax. It seems like, and they've solved that problem immediately. Look, we got an icon, search, up, boom, turn it on and off. Way less click tax, right? And I can type in day, right, and it searches. I do think it's the search, the fact that you have to use the wildcards. I find that a little annoying versus if you just type in day, but I understand regular expressions, and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, super cool. I think that just immediately I can never remember where the search is or the thing, because I'm expecting, right? I'm expecting like here, and I go here and slicer setting, and it's like, where is it? Where's the search? It's hidden. It's in a completely different spot because that makes perfect sense for no reason. Anyway, so that immediately, big fan of that. Now, the other thing that I think is huge. Oh, messed that up. So they've got this thing right here. So now this is kind of interesting. If you click on this, if I click on this, you see how this this interface right here? So if I like go back to report, it seems to me it's the same. They're somehow invoking this same screen as if I do this show as table, right? And I've got that same back to report, and I get this canvas, that I can. They seem to be repurposing that screen from what I can tell. I'm not positive on that, but it seems to be what they're doing. And I don't know why. Sometimes when I click this, it doesn't do that. Maybe it's something they need to fix. Anyway, so default selection, huge. right? I mean, how many times I've seen on community forums where somebody has a date table, they've gone through the trouble of marking their, months, current fiscal month or, fiscal month -1, blah, blah, blah. They go through and do all that, current fiscal year. But they want a slicer that always defaults to the current fiscal month. So as the data gets refreshed, it moves from June to July to August, for example, that the current month is always today's current month, right? Incredibly common. So basically, and you could never really, it really wasn't an option in terms of the default pattern. There were ways to do it, but they're all very hokey. But in this case, it actually allows you to set a default selection. In this case, I can do fixed. I have not gotten based on field to work like you could, my thought was that you could do it as a measure. I haven't quite gotten that one to work, but I can do a fixed, minute filter and then less than 1 day. You apply that. Now you can see I've got nothing selected here. I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this with nothing selected. I'm going to close it. I'm going to relaunch Power BI. All right, let's go ahead and open that report back up. Let it load. And boom, there you have it. Look at that. My default selection is less than 1 day, right? Exactly what I said. So very cool stuff right there. I think that is a huge, huge win for Power BI. Go ahead and click on that over here. So, and there's just a ton of options. Here's another one that I think is really cool. So if I go ahead and apply this, I change it to pop-up, go back here, you can see all the values are gone. This allows me, like, I could really shrink this up, to be very small. I love this little, I've got 1 of 6, selected. It gives me a little progress bar kind of thing. But when I click on this now, it pops up and now I can boom, I can select, I got 3 of 6 and the bar fills up, right? Very cool stuff, right? Think of that, and that's even smaller than like a drop down, because I could really shrink up this text and all of that. So that's huge space savings, in my opinion. I can still get to my settings, right? I'm going to go ahead and flip that back to Canvas, apply that. They just kind of, there's got some really nice stuff in here. It's just crazy how much there is to it. I'm not going to go through all of it. Here's another one that I really like, this add dividers, right? I can hit OK, and they give you a little preview. This is what it's going to look like. Got these little divider lines in there. Really cool. You can control, like, at a global level, you can control the different colors and your fonts and all of that sort of stuff. So everything you would expect, in more is here in terms of, and I haven't even got into the image styling and all of that sort of stuff and the conditional formatting and all. It's just, plus they got a bunch of templates and stuff. So it's a great little slicer. I'm really impressed. I continue to be super impressed with TruViz and what they've been able to put out. That's my fault because I didn't do this. So anyway, real big fan of what TruViz is putting out there in the marketplace. Probably do another video on like their KPI visual because it is super impressive as well. But that's it. That's all I had for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Go out and try the visual out and tell me what you think about it. That's all I had for this video. Hope you enjoyed it and see you next time.